Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we prepared two of my favorites for the big game on Sunday, cowboy caviar and lemony crispy chicken wings. But first, gorgeous photos of Mill Creek Park, courtesy of Michael Johnson. We are here with Michael Johnson at the wetlands here at Newport Lake in Mill Creek Park. And I met Michael online, on the Nextdoor app. And that thing is just so interesting. It has all the different neighborhoods in our area. And Michael, you post all these gorgeous pictures of nature. And Mill Creek Park is your hang, huh?
It is. It's a fortress of solitude, so to speak. It's serene, it's quiet. You interact with many people here from time to time, but mostly you get by yourself. And
you said that it really ramped up during COVID.
It did, because what happens is most people are told to stay indoors because you didn't go outside and interact with people and catch anything. But here at the park, it was like you could be by yourself. You could be with people, but be at a distance, of course, talk between the cars, and you still had an outdoor feeling. You still got some fresh air.
Yeah.
And it's relaxing.
And what I think is really interesting about Michael is you can tell from his accent, he is not a native Youngstonian. So you are originally born and raised in New York City.
Yes, in the Bronx.
And after your retirement, you decided to come to the garden capital of the world, Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, my sister bought a house here in 2014.
How did that happen? Why Youngstown of all the places?
Well, I had another sister that lived here prior to this because she worked for GM. So my older sister followed her down here, and I followed her.
Well, I'm sure the retirement might be a little cheaper here.
Oh, yeah, you get more, as they say, more bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Because New York is too expensive to live for anybody.
What did you do in New York?
I was a warehouse manager.
And then...
then I got disabled, and it was more affordable to live someplace else.
Yes, yes. And were you keen on photography when you lived in the city?
I was an architect student years ago, and I just picked up the camera. I had a little Instamatic camera years ago. And I love architecture, I love scenery.
But you seem to really get a lot of the bald eagles, which I lived here my whole life. I don't think I've ever seen a bald eagle in person.
The first time I caught one, I thought I was seeing things. This can't be real. Bald eagle in Mill Creek Park.
Right.
And of course it was. Then I started realizing their pattern, and they did come year round. Whether it's hot or warm or cold, they're year round. And usually the area over there we talked about is where they mostly hang at. There's a nest somewhere here in the park, but I can't find it yet.
I know. How big must that nest be?
It's massive, because there was the one that we know about near the proving grounds over, I forget what part of town that is. That's massive, so it can't be missed. The eagles that fly through here fly in the evening. They fly either direction towards, I think it was at 64 or whatever it is over there.
Yeah, 62.
Or 62, or either they fly over or they fly over Glacier. And there has to be a nest, I think it's the nest over there by where the highway is.
Yes.
And the very wooded area, it's very hard to access by walking or driving, so you really have to take a trek to go through there. A few friends of mine thought about doing that one day, going trying to look for it.
Well, you let me know, because I think that would be, it's hard to believe. Now, the other day I noticed, I'm kind of a fan, and I always look for your posts when I go on to Nextdoor, and you had thought it was a hawk, but it was a golden eagle.
Yes, I had never seen one before in the wild, and I was told by one of my people who on my site that it's a golden eagle, and I was fortunate to catch him.
What other things have you really caught, other than the birds?
Well, nature itself. I mean, I was here a few days ago when the fog was hitting. It was very foggy.
Oh, I love those.
And I caught some great pictures over here by the wetlands area over here on the other side. I caught some early morning pictures over by Lake Glacier in the morning. It's like a blue setting. It's all, people actually, did I doctor the film? No, it's just blue.
It looks like a haunted movie.
Especially the fog ones. I mean, it was like so eerie when the Vincent Price movie kind of setting,
Yes.
And it was perfect because it's just quiet. It's still. And you can hear a pin drop, literally. You hear the trees are rustling in the wind, but other than that, that's it.
it's all with this Nikon.
It's all with this, yeah, all this.
I mean, that is such a little compact. And then, do you print these out? And
Well, no, I did. What happens when I take pictures that they connect to the phone, so they go right from the camera to the phone. I have a database, but I have yet to print anything out.
What do you really like about Youngstown? I mean, obviously you've been here, and that's going to be almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, yeah.
And, you know,
it's not New York. In the biggest sense of the word, it's not New York. I was born and raised in New York. And after a while, you get tired of the hustle, the bustle. It's a whole different mindset. You know, Ohio is a little bit much slower than New York, and it's a different kind of vibe.
What do you think about the people here in our area?
They're friendly.
You?
They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
And it's not about the color of the skin or how you look. It's just they feel something off you, and you feel something off for them, and you connect, especially in the park with the Mill Creek thing. It's a whole different set of values.
So you're not going anywhere?
No.
Have you been back to visit since you
I've been
moved?
back to visit. Yeah, I've been back to move. My sister and I used to take care of our dad. He passed in 2019, so now we're here permanently. But to find a place like this, when I was there, to find a place like this is hard pressed because there are parks all over New York City. But to find one that's empty, as quiet as this, you're not going to find that. This is midday, and the park is empty. In the scheme of things, New York, like Central Park, there's 1,000 people in one spot. You know, having lunch. You know, everybody's on lunch break in New York. But you know, Central Park. But here, you literally, what do you hear? You hear the highway in the distance. You hear the cars in the distance.
That's it.
That's it. You get nothing else.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Woolley Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Woolley Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Righetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Today I'm going to prepare for you one of my new favorite party foods. Always love to see the 7-layer dip when I go to a party. Love the buffalo chicken dip. And my neighbor, Carrie Watson, showed up at my house with cowboy caviar. It was so good. I went online, I tried to figure out the very best recipe because of course there's different ingredients depending on what your likes and dislikes are, but it is easy to assemble, It is loaded with flavor. It's pretty low cal, and it's really easy to make. The only issue is you're going to do a lot of chopping of fresh vegetables, but it is so delicious, and it's really versatile. It could be a dip, or you could add it to tacos. You could make a salad with it. It's really, really good. So we're gonna make cowboy caviar, and I'll be right back with the ingredients. For this recipe, you'll need 1 15-ounce can of black beans and black-eyed peas, rinsed and drained, 1 cup of tomatoes, diced, 1 jalapeno pepper, seeded and diced, 1 cup of fresh corn. That's about 2 ears, or you could use canned or frozen. 1 avocado chopped, 1 cup of red and or green bell peppers, seeded and diced, 1/2 cup of red onion diced, 1 bunch of cilantro leaves chopped, and 4 ounces of queso fresco cheese crumbled. I know this recipe has a little more ingredients than I usually do, but I just love this dish, and it lasts a few days in your refrigerator. So all we're gonna do is assemble it now. This is 1 can drained of the black beans, and these are the black-eyed peas. So we'll dump that into the bowl. And then the pepper, I use both. This is a medium-sized red bell pepper, and this is the green. I mean, this is so pretty. And then the corn. It is corn season, so I used 2 ears and cut that off. You can use frozen, and in a pinch, if you need to, just use canned corn. And then the red onion, you can soak this in water if you find it has too much of a bite. Or, you know, I was thinking, I haven't tried it, but I bet you the green onion and a little bit of the stem would be good in this too. And then I have the tomatoes. And what I did was quarter cherry tomatoes for that. And the jalapeno. This was a larger jalapeno. You could also leave that out if you don't like the heat. And then we have the cilantro. Love cilantro. Some people don't, they think it's soapy tasting. If you don't like it, leave it out or use parsley. All right, so we have all of these ingredients in here. And what we're gonna do is just mix this up. Look at that now. Isn't that pretty? And it smells so good. And there's a lot of it. Now I'm gonna set this aside, and then what I'm gonna do is assemble the dressing. But I want to remind you, if you are cooking this or preparing this in advance, I would add the queso cheese at the very end and the avocado, because you know avocados tend to brown. So make sure you add that dice the very last thing and mix it up, and the queso. But you can go as far as the dressing and all those other ingredients if you want to prepare that the night before, because the flavors really do blend together well. And let's assemble the dressing. For the dressing, you'll need 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1/2 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and salt and pepper to taste. Now this is really easy. We're going to start with the olive oil. Now there's a lot of ingredients in here too. If you don't like some of them, feel free to leave them out. The cumin, I like heat, so I am adding chili powder and I am adding cayenne. And then just to thicken it up, and it kind of takes a little bit of the heat off, is the honey. I've never really used honey in my dressings, but I think you're gonna like it in here. And then a little red wine vinegar, and then some fresh squeezed lime juice, and garlic powder. Last but not least. All right, so we put that in, and then we just give this a good beating. So I am just dicing it, and you want to keep everything at about a 1/2 inch dice. And look at that. I just love avocado. And this really adds a nice smoothness to the dish. All right, so now the avocado's in. Here's what we're gonna do now. Add the dressing. and just mix that up and make sure everything is blended together. The smells, the textures. All right, so now that that's there, you know, the queso is really flaky. So they come in wheels, about 8-ounce wheels. So I'm using about a half a wheel in here. And then you just grind it up with your hands and make sure it crumbles nicely. The texture of this isn't quite feta-like. It's a little more pliable, but it has such a nice flavor to it, and it just adds another dimension to this dish. This is amazing. And this is a fresh one. Wait till you taste it after a few hours in your fridge. Oh, it is so good. I just love it. And it's really good, of course, with, you know, tortilla chips. But if you put this in a taco and then put some chicken over it, or ground beef, or the carne asada, and then on a salad, a bed of lettuce, I mean, this really is a versatile topping for a lot of things. And of course, a margarita would be good, but I found a really nice crisp wine. And this is Fun Blanc from Ferrari Carano. And it says it's a Sauvignon Blanc too, but it's really not. It doesn't have that heavy grapefruit taste. It's just really light, refreshing, nice palate cleanser. So, caviar. What do you think of that? Cowboy caviar. Go to my website, caseymaloneshow.com, and you'll get the recipe for this and the dressing. And remember, it's versatile. What you don't like, take out, and if you think I missed something, add it to that. And you are going to love it. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I am here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery with Rude the Dude. New year, new things going on.
Yeah, we got a lot of new things going on. Chef Tank's back, so we got a new head chef, which means new menus coming soon. Then leading right after that, right into St. Pat's Week. We're the official after party of the Mahoney Valley St. Patrick's Day Parade. So we'll have the big tent up again, the bands outside, the beer trucks, food trucks, then leads straight into our St. Patrick's Day party on that Friday, again with the beer trucks, the tents, and the bands. So we're looking forward to this new year coming up.
It is going to be fun. It is St. Patrick's Week, so go to their Facebook page or their website to get all the details, because new things are constantly being added. And don't forget about that banquet room.
Yeah, banquet rooms pull up to 150. We can do any baptism, graduation parties, anything you like.
Now is the time to book. Go to Magic Tree Pub and Eatery and get all the details.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
Ruley Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Ruley Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Ruley Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Today I'm going to prepare chicken wings. Yes, I have become very familiar with chicken wings. I wanted to learn a recipe that I didn't need an air fryer or any of those things. And of course, baking in the oven at a high temp is the best way to save some calories and get them extra super crisp. So I've been playing around with chicken wings, and boy, have I learned more than I ever thought I would about these things. There's flats, which are like the little wing, and then there's drums or the drumettes, which look like little chicken legs. And I've been playing around, and a lot of them put the sauce on after they're cooked. But in this recipe, I'm gonna do both. I marinate it overnight or for at least a few hours, and then when they come out of the oven, you add a sauce on top, and then they are perfectly crisp, perfectly delicious. For the wing marinade, you'll need 3 to 4 pounds of chicken wings. You'll need 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, zest and juice from 1 lemon, 1/4 cup of Frank's hot sauce, 1 tablespoon of fresh ground pepper, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and 3 teaspoons of dried oregano. So we'll start with the olive oil, and then we are going to add the lemon zest, which is so important, and then the lemon juice. And then I love the heat. Now, if you don't like heat, this is one ingredient you could skip. And I think Frank's hot sauce is the best for wings. And then the oregano, which adds a nice warmth to it. And then the salt and the pepper. And that's it. These are ingredients we have around the house. So we'll mix this up. Abracadabra. By the magic of television, I have the chicken wings that have been marinating overnight, and they are ready to go into the oven. Make sure you preheat your oven for 400 degrees. Get one of your cookie sheets, line it with foil because it's a little bit of a mess, and if you have racks, put them on top of the foil so the fat, drips down and keeps the wings really nice and crisp. And also spray your racks so the chicken wings don't stick to them. So we are just going to put them on. I mean, this is the easy part now. I'm gonna stick them in the oven for about an hour. And every 15 minutes, keep checking on them and turn them, change the different shelves, that they're on, because we're gonna have 2 pans of this. Keep switching them every 15 minutes and turning them around and rotating them, just so they keep browning and getting crisp in different areas of the oven. One of my new favorite cocktails is the Paloma, and it is grapefruit based, and it has tequila in it. So instead of a margarita, it's a little more savory because I just love grapefruit juice. And it has a little lime, and it's really, really refreshing, and it goes well with these wings. So let's try this. It's 2 ounces of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice, which is the most important thing with your cocktails. Must be fresh juice because they really taste good. And then it's equal parts of tequila. You could probably use a gold, but I'm using a silver. So 2 and 2. And then 1 part, which will be 1 ounce, fresh squeezed lime juice. You're still getting the lime, but not as puckery. And we add that to the cocktail shaker. Now the shaker already has some ice in it. And then for a little sweetness, my new trick, I love the agave nectar, about a teaspoon of this. And it's a healthier way to sweeten it up without doing the simple syrup. So now we'll just shake this up, and then you pour it into a rocks glass, perfect size. Sparkling water on top. So the lime looks pretty. Does that look nice? It's refreshing. Any time of year. Oh, it is delicious. So before I assemble the dressing to pour on top, what I like to do is just take this Parmesan, freshly grated, remember, and while the wings are nice and hot, just sprinkle them on top. So we'll just sprinkle that, and we'll let this sit while I assemble the dressing. For the wing dressing, you'll need 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, the zest and juice from 1 lemon, 3 garlic cloves minced, 1/2 cup of chopped parsley, and salt and pepper to taste. And it's very similar almost to the marinade. You know, you start with the olive oil, and then, of course, that lemon juice, and the zest. And this one is the best, the garlic. 3 cloves of it. Oh, love it. And then the parsley. Yep, that goes into the dressing, so it sits a lot better after it's done. And then you just give it a couple grinds of pepper and a little bit of salt. You don't need a lot because we have the Parmesan cheese, which adds like a saltiness to it. So we just mix that together really well. Drizzle this right on top of the wings. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And there you have it. Lemony, crispy chicken wings. And of course, the best way to enjoy it is with the Paloma. So let's see how I did. I'm gonna take a flat. That's my new favorite. And this one looks nice and cheesy and ready to go. That is so good. I mean, it's just a totally different flavor than what you are used to. Cheers to me. I love this recipe. You're gonna love it too. Next party, next football game, whatever you're doing, try these wings. Go to my website, caseymaloneshow.com. The recipe for the wings and the recipe for the Paloma will be there. And you can thank me later because these are delicious. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.